How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for Farming Simulator 22 on the mod map Westbridge Hills. We're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Try your luck in the new world. This area is in the USA. It is in need of a farmer who can tend to its sprawling fields. 21 fields, BGA, spaces for placeables, includes new placeables, trade system." There has been updates made to this map, several of them actually. So we're going to start with the first one, changelog 1.0.0.1, and it says, removed old files, added workshop and vehicle shop, added trigger icon in farmhouse. And then there's changelog 1.0.0.3, adjusted silo oast point. I think that's supposed to be, oh no, might just be out point, oast point. I don't know what that means. Point of sale. Adjusted spinnery point of sale, added dairy point of sale, new game, adjusted decoration in BGA, possibility to sell some town buildings, adjusted splines, adjusted some building textures, added spinnery factory included in new save game, added dairy factory included in new save game, added new storages, adjusted leftover straw, oats, wheat, barley, adjusted production in grapes and olive trees. Then there's changelog 1.2.0.0, added new forest version before Westbridge Hills, changed terrain textures, fixed problems selling bales in farmers market, fixed problems selling bales in Uncle Peter restaurant, added grain silo FS13, minor fixes. Then there was changelog 1.2.0.1, fixed problem with wind pump that crashes the game when selling it, fixed problem with ID map for continued save game. And that is all the updates. This map was created by Vanquish081 and is 182.46 megabytes to download. And if we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start out by owning farmland number 16 here, kind of in the middle south portion of the map. We start here by our starting farm. If I zoom in right here, prices vary. You do start out with some of the smaller plots down here, but it's still really expensive. You got 166,000 for that little one right there, 261,000. There's a really tiny one here that's 82,000. Got one next to it, 108,000. So you can slowly build up, but I mean, the fields are huge on some of these, and they are expensive. $1.3 million, almost 1.22 million, almost 800,000. So you're gonna need quite a 1.34 million. So you're gonna need a lot of money for some of these plots. It's gonna be quite a bit. Let's see. Trying to find my notes because it's all out of order now. Okay, so go down to the animals. We do start out with several pens and pastures. We have a cow barn, chicken pasture, and a sheep barn. Now I will say, if we look at the map, we do have access to these areas here, but the problem is we don't own the land that they're on, so we can't do anything inside the fields or anything along those lines in the ways of modifying those pens and pastures. So you have to own the land first before you can do anything like that. Contracts are available for this map. There are no production chains to start out with, and there are no collectibles for this map. There are mods specific to this map, but nothing under the buy menu, but rather under the build mode. Under buildings, you can see over here several Westbridge Hills buildings available. Then you have under silos, several available here. Silo extensions, couple here. Containers, several here as well. Tools, you have a couple here. And farmhouse, you have one there. Then under factories, productions and factories, we do have one here. And you can see the dairy, the spinnery, and the biogas plant. And then nothing under selling points, nothing under greenhouses, orchards, but you do have generators, and you have this wind pump right here. There's nothing at all under animals, nothing under cows, horses, pigs, sheep, chickens, bees, or others. Now there are additional fences. If we scroll all the way to the right, there we go. We have a fence right there. And we also have others. So flag, hay cart, farm barn, and farm barn. And then lastly, nothing under the landscaping. There's no additional painting swatches. There's no additional trees or plants. Now we do start here at the starting farm, so let's take a look at our starting equipment. Under the buy menu, under owned items, start with large tractors. We have a Case Magnum 340 CVX drive, a JCV Fast Track 8330, and a John Deere 8R280. So pretty big tractors for the start. Harvesters, you have a Case Axle Flow 7150. Cars, Lizard Pickup 2017. Trailers, the AgriLiner MUK 303. We have a corn header for our harvester. Under cultivators, we have the Lemken Carolyn 9840. Planters, the Kinsey 3665 Blue Drive. We have a header trailer for our corn header, the Nardi N20T, and then under weights, we have the Tenwinkle B2500. So take a look at our starting farm. Right here, we have a sleep trigger. And then around this side here, a wardrobe trigger. And then coming down here, you see this farm has kind of this little gully down here. We're going to go ahead and just hop on down. And right here we have a silo, and I'm pretty certain this silo is specific for like root crops, specifically potatoes and sugar beets. Right here, we have a herbicide buy point. Next to it, we have a fertilizer buy point, and a liquid fertilizer buy point is next to that. Over here, we have a repair trigger. Trigger point is right out in front of this door. We have chickens, and we have up to 100 chickens in this pasture. And you have your feed point right here, and your eggs spawn right here. Coming around over here, we have a seed buy point right here. Our main grain silo is right here. You have your output here and your input right here on the other side. And lastly, on the farm, we have our fuel tank right there. Let's go ahead and grab the JCB, because why not? I mean, it could have something to do that it goes 45 miles an hour. Is not outside the realm of possibility. Okay. So coming up here on the right is the shop, where we have our shop trigger and repair trigger. Shop trigger is inside the door here. And then our repair trigger is out here. You also have a money dialog box right here where you can check your finances. Run back to the tractor. Now go down the hill here. And make a left. Okay, so starting right here, we have a train rent point right here. And right here, we have the Grain West Silo. So this is a sell point. Yeah. And now we're gonna turn back around, head back up the hill. make a right. Okay. Now over here is the dairy, and you can purchase this for $120,000, so rather expensive for a dairy. You have your inputs right here, and I believe your outputs are right here in front of this doorway. Now, that I could be mistaken. Back here, though, is the dairy sell point. So separate from this dairy is an actual sell point. Just gonna make one quick trip around just to make sure there's no spawn points that... Or no, look at that, right there. That's where your pellets will spawn for your dairy. Okay, so now we'll hop back into the tractor here, the JCB, and we're gonna kind of go around the outer periphery of the map just to be able to take in the rest of the items. There is kind of a direct way, but we'd be passing right by a lot of things, so this way we kind of get to see some more of the scenery. We do have a cool little drive-through right here to my left. Down here in the gully, you'll see... maybe you'll see. There's a campground right down there, and it's kind of tucked in, so I didn't get a good view of it. So it's just up on top of this hill over here. There's the campground right there. So now we're just going to keep heading in this direction. Until we get down to the bottom edge of the map. Okay. Right here is the sawmill, and you can purchase this for $100,000. You have your outputs here, your inputs right here with your wood cell trigger here, and your wood chip output is right here. Right here is the South Valley Biomass Energy Cell Point. So you can bring your wood, and I believe wood and wood chips go here. So you put them in here, you got your wood cell trigger right here. Continuing to head down. Over here is the restaurant sell point, and you have another check finance disc right there. And over here, you have the biogas plant. You have a fuel tank right there, tons of bunkers for silage right here. And then what you have to do, go to your map, and what we're going to do is take a look where we've been. So we started here right by the farmhouse. We went up to the main road. No, sorry, we made it all the way around here. Then we went up to the main road, went over and saw the repair trigger as well as the shop trigger. Came up to here. We saw the train rental point and the grain silo west, or grain west silo. We then backtrack to here where we saw the dairy production point and the dairy sell point. Then came back around, we went through the kind of amphitheater area here, through here, and we saw the, nope, we passed all that, passed by the little campground that's right here, came all the way down to the sawmill, and saw the wood chip output. the South Valley Biomass Energy, came down a little further for the restaurant, and then we came up to here for the fuel tank, the lime station, and now if we purchase farmland number 25 for $205,896, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just do that. Now go back to here, purchase. Now you have your triggers pop up right here. You can see standard inputs, nothing too special about that. You've got your solid inputs here. You have your, you have a lime station right over here, forgot to mention that. You have your liquid outputs right here, aka your digestate, and your inputs, where... Or you know what, that might have been both your in and... both of your ins were at that point right there, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. Both of your inputs for liquids and solids go in here. Now, where's my tractor? There it is. Okay. From this point, we come out the other side of the biogas plant here. Now coming up here, in the back over in the corner there, you see we have a manure heap. And right here, we have a cow barn where we can have up to 200 cows. You have your feed trigger and your straw trigger point right there. You have a liquid slurry tank holding right there. And I believe... Again, this is one of those where you have to own the land in order to be able to utilize it, do anything with it. And I don't remember if there's an entry point. This is where your water goes, is right here. But I don't see a gate to be able to do any mowing, so let's see. Is it because we don't own the land? So you delete the whole cow barn if you delete the land. So just looking for... This is your milk point right here. This is technically a cow barn, not a pasture. So yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get into this in order to do anything with it. Oops. Just check this one more time just to make sure there's no doors. No, it doesn't look like it. So I was hoping you might be able to utilize the land for grass or anything like that. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So now we're going to follow this all the way out. Like, this map really brings back the nostalgia. Like, it's very, very much just a modern iteration of the one we had in FS19 and before. I haven't played it since before 19, so I'm only going to speak to FS19, and this one really screams of FS19. You got the wells pumping there. Alright, right here is the selling station number 3. Over here, we have the spinnery. You can purchase this for $90,000. You have your inputs here and outputs right there. Over here, you have the spinnery sell point. Right here. Then the corner right there, you have a fuel tank. Whoops. Now we just need to head down the hill here. Right here you have a sheep barn where you can have up to 200 sheep. You have your water point right here and your feed point right there. And your spawn point, I believe, is down, yep, right here for your wool. Now heading down a bit further. Now over there, behind this building, you have a rent train trigger right there. And you have that dialogue box right there, but I don't know what that dialogue box is for. Because I see like pipe work out here, as if it was going to feed something, but it doesn't look like there's like a sell point or anything. Is this land viable maybe? So we were here at the biogas plant. We came over and saw the cow barn as well as the manure heap and the slurry point out here. Came up and around. We went to selling station 3, the spinnery sell point, and the fuel tank. Came out to here to the gas station, and now we're up to here. So we can purchase this farmland. It's farmland number 44, but it's $1.1 million. So not gonna buy that. Not to test that out, but maybe some other time. See, maybe I'll come back on another recording and just see if we can purchase that land, because I'm gonna have to bring in some subsidy signs to get enough money for that. So anyways, heading up to the north, come in here. Oh, for some reason I thought there's a back entrance back here. There is not. This is the animal dealer. So you can come here and you can purchase animals for any of your pens and pastures you already have installed on the map. The problem is that coming here directly will incur you a delivery fee. So you're essentially simulating coming to this location to buy the animals, and they will deliver the animals for you. You can also purchase from your pens and pastures that you have installed at the map. You saw those little discs that we were using to access the numbers. The problem is that, again, you're going to incur a delivery fee, because essentially you're just getting on the phone and asking them to deliver to you. Well, how do you save that money? Well, doing the delivery yourself. You go out, buy or lease a animal trailer. Once you have the animal trailer, bring it to this location, load your animals directly into that trailer, and deliver the animals to the pens and pastures yourself. That'll save you the delivery fee. And depending on how much of the animals you're getting and what kind of animals you're getting, you're going to be spending a lot of money. It's well worth it to eventually invest into an animal trailer. Back here, you have the selling station number 2. And now we're going to go through here. We have a fuel tank right there. And over here, I think I passed right by it. There it is. That is the farmer's market sell point. Pull around here. To my left is the seeds buy point. To my right, we have in blue, the liquid fertilizer buy point. Beside that, to the left, is the solid fertilizer buy point. And in the red is the herbicide buy point. And now we have 2 more points of interest. We're just going to head in this direction. Oh, hey, car right there. I didn't see it. Okay, so coming up here, that is one of our tractors right there. We have a fuel tank right there. And then here we're going to turn. And then lastly, right there is our last fuel tank. We have another check funds right there. Now, that is Westbridge Hills. We're going to go on to what I feel about this map. Standard 0 to 5 rating as always. And I'll be very brutally honest. I'm not a fan of this version of Westbridge Hills. Um, I'm not a huge prescriber into throwbacks or those kind of nostalgia maps kind of thing. And this one just has way too much in the realm of, well, do you remember this from way back when? And there's very little in the ways of FS22 and all the feelings of when this map first was released, and I think was what, back in 13. Um, I know for certain it's almost the same exact map as I played for FS19, and was oohing and eyeing over it in FS19. But how I view this is I paid $60 for a game that I want the newest, latest, and greatest. And now here's the thing: is there a place for this kind of map? Absolutely. There's going to be people out there that love the kind of nostalgia feel and kind of that whole vibe that this map gives. And that's great. They're more than welcome, and I'm thoroughly happy this map exists. But I'm also far more happy that the Westbridge Hills 22 version exists, because that one kind of goes through and modernizes it and really makes it come alive, in my opinion, to where this one's kind of just stuck in the past kind of thing. And I'm normally a very big proponent of respecting one's history and where things come from. That's why I said, this map has its place. But for me, I want to be able to utilize the new production chains. I want to be able to utilize the open barns and buildings that are available. And I feel that this one is just very polygonal, especially like the buildings and stuff. And it's intended, I'm sure, like that because of the uh, look and aesthetic appeal that this map was going for. But again, it's one of those. It's like going back and playing a old Nintendo game system when you're just got done playing your Xbox. It's one of those kind of feels. Like I'm playing this on the latest gen console, and I feel like I'm years in the past. And I've never personally been a fan of that. And hey, to each their own. If that's your thing, then more power to you. I'm happy that this map is made. I hope that you really enjoy it. But it just doesn't tickle my fancy. The one that was created for Westbridge, called Westbridge Hills 22, that's the version that I enjoy the most. Because not only was it modernized for this game, but it still has that same appeal and aesthetic look to it, while not taking away from the natural feel of the area that is Westbridge Hills. It felt very natural that, maybe that's the way I look at it. I'm kind of thinking about this in real time. Maybe this is the version that is meant for 2013, and then there's the other version that's included in this map pack, quote unquote, that's kind of the uh, logging version of this same map, and it's supposed to be kind of like a look back in time. Well, maybe the Westbridge Hills 22 is just the leap forward kind of thing. Who knows? But you know what? That's the way I'm going to look at it. I kind of just convinced myself in real time. So 0 to 5 scale. Originally, I was going to give it a 3. It's just kind of right down the middle, not a big deal. I mean, if I take it with the thought of, well, this is kind of built for the kind of delineation in time, then hey, 3.5, 4. We'll go with that because it's still a very solid map. Like, this is a very nice map. It looks very nice. It's got a lot of cool things that I personally look for in a map. It's got the undulations that are very, very nice. It's not flat whatsoever. There's a lot of rolling hills. Your fields are not perfectly flat, but they are square, so they make it very worker friendly. That's really nice. You've got a very good color palette. You've got a lot of like plants and stuff, but they're not so bright and colorful with the flowers that they make it look too cartoonish. They actually look like weeds and plants that would grow in a kind of over kept field kind of thing. So everything just looks like it belongs. So yeah, all in all, I think yeah, good map. 3. Let's settle with a 3.5. I'll give it an extra half a point from where I was going to go originally. So a little bit better than average. So that's where I stand. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.